This program does not represent the views of this station and may be considered offensive to some listeners. This program may contain mature subject matter, including frank discussions of controversial topics. It is intended for mature, open-minded audiences. Discretion is highly advised. This program is entirely independently produced by and is copyrighted by Frank. It is broadcast here under license.
You're listening to Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyles, and I'm Frank because I have to be. On today's show, we are talking about international game, and we have the #1 dating guru of all of Europe. He is the man who runs the Badboy Lifestyle Company at www.badboylifestyles.com. He's known as Badboy. Welcome to Frank Talks, Badboy.
Thank you.
All right, let's get right into the interview. First question, where were you born? And tell me everything that you believe is relevant about your upbringing that eventually led you to becoming a seduction guru.
I was born in Croatia, Zagreb, 27 years ago. Beautiful country to grow up, and with a lot of beautiful girls. Why did I become player, whatever, every guy has desires for having a lot of girls, so
absolutely
nothing different than other guys. It's more just like I know that I can get him, and I didn't know. I was trying. I was doing my best to get him, and finally found a way to get him, and finally find a way how it works and how they think, how whole planet works, and the easy way to get him.
And was there ever a time in your youth where you were bad with women, or have you always been naturally good with them?
I had my years of not understanding what to do, and of course, every guy goes through this. No one gets born with skills, Skill is something that you develop, understanding for women, Mm-hmm. Some guys, they live with 5, 6 women at home, so maybe for them it's kind of easier. If you're 5 girls, you're living with them, 5 sisters or something, with the time you understand how they think, how they behave, and you understand how to, manipulate them, whatever. For some guys who, doesn't have mother, just lives with his father, or has, he was a social problem in his childhood, of course he's going to have a problem, with girls later, or being social at all. For me, I had a little bit of problems. I was in a relationship, since I know myself, high school, college, whatever. I was never able to get out and actually get girls, one-night stand and stuff. And that was the area where I started working. I think I was 18 or 19, and I was start working heavily on it, to find a way how to actually go out in a club and get one-night stand, pull the girls home. Because that was something I never tried or did or dared at all, to do it.
So you were already having a relationship when you were in high school, but you really didn't go out there until you were a little bit older. 18, 19 is when you started going out to clubs and started to master that game.
Exactly, Because I had girls. I was in relationships, but I never had a skill to actually go out and get threesomes and stuff from the clubs, Of course, that's area that no one gets born. It's area that you must master it.
One of the things you just mentioned in this interview is how if a man is living with many women, he will learn about women more. What about the guy who, let's say he lives with only women, he only lives with his mother and sisters, and they end up dominating him. They end up always telling him what to do. They end up raising him to not be a man.
Yeah.
But exactly. To always, be...
So let's say, in this situation, there are 2 types of guys, okay? Mm-hmm. 2 types of guys develop in this kind of situations, homes, whatever. It's first guy who gets dominated over them, and they are taking everything, taking all the control over him, and I think he ends up a very feminine, So he has a lot of feminine moves, and that's because he's been under the pressure of female energy and whatever, okay? While other type of guys, which is one of my friends, is like a guy who actually took control over the house. You know, like they say every house needs to have a man, okay?
Yes.
So somehow he's like a three women at home. I don't know, 2 sisters and mother. But eventually, I mean, he was like, I don't know, 18, 19, 17, whatever. He started fixing house. He was doing everything, you know, for them. And he became a leader of that house. I mean, not leader, but like, he was the man. He was the head of the house, you know, how it's supposed to be. And yeah, so I mean, and he's very good with girls. Probably that's, I think, one of the reasons. Not only reason, it's like one of puzzles.
Now I have another question for you. You just mentioned that, you know, the way it's supposed to be, where the man is in charge, the man is the leader of the household, of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in what you're saying. I've experienced it as well. How do you deal with females who tell you that no, it's not, the man is not supposed to be the leader, it has to be equal because women really like a nice guy? What do you say to those critics?
I mean, I just laugh, you know, that's funny. You just, I mean, you just let them drive the car and they're gonna understand they cannot do it and stuff. I mean, it's just not possible. I mean, that's how planet was not designed. So, I mean, what I usually do is like nothing, just because that's what she thinks, you know. I mean, whenever girls tell they want a nice guy or that she wants to be a leader in a relationship, it always hurts them. It hurts them more than guys, you know.
Okay, how does it hurt them?
So, I don't know. I don't think it's... Sorry?
How does it hurt them? Give me an example of how it hurts a woman when she has to be the leader, when she wants a nice guy.
Okay. Typical jerk. You know that every woman has a fantasy.
Yes.
To tame a lion, find some bad boy and whatever jerk, and then tame him, shape him into your relation, into, I don't know, some nice boy.
Right.
I mean, that's like fantasy in every Roman novel and stuff. You're probably aware of this, aren't you?
Yep.
It's like one of their biggest fantasies. And now what usually happens is, it's like she falls in love because he's like a jerk, dominant, you know, he doesn't listen and he doesn't take her shit, whatever, you know. So she's all over him first year or something, whatever. Eventually, what happens, the guy becomes more and more nice, starts treating her nicely, you know, he relaxes her, and he stops being like this, you know, jerk, animal, whatever, you know, crazy sex. And after a while, he becomes boring because he's predictable, you know, he's at home with his remote control. So basically, she creates a nice guy, she tames him. And then what happens? She dumps him.
That's right. You got it. The man speaks the truth. The man speaks
She dumps him, and then it's game over, you know, she's bored with him, and so actually it hurts her.
So when a woman gives you resistance, let's say you're in a relationship with her, or maybe this is a question that some of your clients give you. The man and the woman are in a relationship, and the woman is saying, "No, I want to start being in charge. No, I want to start making decisions." What do you advise a man to say to a woman in that point? Is he supposed to get very aggressive with her? Should he become very dominant?
No.
Or is there a way to communicate that he is the leader, but in a more subtle and gentle way? What would you recommend?
I think being a leader is more subtle. It's more like it's very calibrated, you know. I mean, okay, when I say leader, I'm like this aggressive guy who's like, you know, beating her at home and stuff, you know. It's more like, okay, she's like, I want to be a leader, take us to dinner, find a good restaurant. I'm not sure, you know, like, so, I mean, maybe like even like you give her control, but still you are under control.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes. So the idea is that you give her control on something little, and not something
and she's
big?
gonna fuck it up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it's not because it's very stupid to argue with them. I mean, guys, don't ever argue with a woman. It's useless. You're not gonna win, okay?